G'day guys, Seeney here and welcome to another episode on the Australian Wealth channel. And in this video, we're going to be talking about what shutting down the construction industry is going to do to the Sydney real estate market. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps to get these videos out to more people because I got some information in here and some speculations which I think people might be really interested in hearing. So unless you've been living under a rock, you would have seen that in the last little while, Sydney's been taken into lockdown. And of course, we've started with measures which have been just like lockdown light, and then they've just progressively gotten a little bit steeper and more aggressive. And for the first time, what we've actually seen is that the construction industry has been completely stopped for the next 2 weeks or so. So that's 2 weeks where no construction is going to be occurring in all of Greater Sydney. Now, of course, the regions are still going, but there is so much construction that is happening here in Greater Sydney. Now, this of course excludes repairs that are really urgent, such as anything to do with electrical or plumbing. Say you've got a burst pipe, that is going to be continuing, but the major construction projects, houses that can stop for a couple of weeks are going to stop. So it begs the question, what is this going to do to the housing market here in Sydney? So there's a number of different things which I'm going to delve into in this video, but I think it's really important to talk about the cost of what this is actually costing Australia to actually stop construction for 2 weeks. So in Sydney, there's 250,000 construction workers. So it's a pretty big industry. We've got our mining industry and construction are absolutely massive to Australia. So 250,000 people employed. The average salary in construction is about $65,000, which is about $1,250 a week. So what that means, if we kind of take that information and extrapolate it out, so every single week that the government has shut down construction, it's costing the Australian economy $312 million every single week. So just this 2 weeks alone is going to cost the Australian economy $624 million, which is massive. It's a massive cost that we are going to have to bear. And of course, we don't know if this is going to continue. They've only just started with 2 weeks. Obviously, if this shutdown continues, then the cost of that is going to add up really fast. Just another 2 weeks is going to push that into a $1.2 billion loss, which is just huge. So obviously the government wouldn't have taken these steps lightly at all, because this is going to be a massive loss of revenue to them, not only in terms of the economic growth, but also the amount that they're going to have to be paying out to people that have been stopped from working as a result of these restrictions. So at the moment, this is only going for 2 weeks, but it could carry on if things don't get better. And of course, the cost of that will continue to grow. But it begs the question, what will this actually do to the housing market? Will this send the housing market higher? Will it send it lower? Well, I wanted to just have a look at my speculation, what I believe personally will result out of this. So what we have seen and what we still see is absolutely record low interest rates. Interest rates are just so low that it's crazy. Like people are managing to get home loans for 2.5% or even lower, which is just nuts. We've never seen this in history as far as I'm aware in Australia. So one thing, interest rates are remaining incredibly low. Not everyone has stopped working. A lot of people can work from home and are still able to work from home. Having said that, some people have lost their jobs. So in the last financial year, which has just gone, housing prices have been up about 15% in 1 year, which is just crazy. So at the moment, based on the data, it looks like we're going through a level of peak growth in the housing market. So what that basically means is that it's not expected that the growth rate will be any higher, but the growth rate's probably not going to be negative. So we're going through peak growth. So the growth rate might be a little bit slower, but of course this shutdown changes things a little bit. So this is my prediction. So one of the major issues of pushing property up higher and higher here in Australia is not only interest rates being incredibly low, which are still incredibly low, but the other thing is there is a real lack of supply. So if we think about that for 1 second, we already have a lack of supply, and what we're doing is we're stopping construction, which means that there's going to be an even further lack of supply. If this carries on, not just 2 weeks, but 4 weeks, what do you think this is going to do? There's going to be less properties on the market. There's going to be less properties for sale because nothing's getting built. So when the supply tightens even more, what do you think that's going to do to prices? Most people would panic and just say, oh, well, you know, everything's stopping. That means that the housing market's going to go down. I personally believe it's going to be the opposite. We're going to see an even more competitive market with construction shut down. And the longer this continues, I'm expecting prices to continue to increase because, you know, at the end of the day, if someone wants a property, they're going to be willing to pay whatever it takes to get that property within reason. So with a very competitive market, lots of buyers, incredibly low interest rates, I believe that this is what we are going to see as a result of this construction shutdown. So if you already own property, this is probably going to be good for you. If you don't, then property's then going to continue at the rate that we've basically seen recently. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. Personally, I'm continuing to be buying property. At the moment, you know, we've got our cash out refinance basically sorted, so we'll be on the hunt for a decent property. We're not sure if it's going to be Sydney yet, or whether it's going to be Melbourne or Brisbane, but I personally believe this is what's going to happen in Sydney. So I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Please let me know what you think is going to happen to the housing market here in Sydney. Are we going to see it crash? Are we going to see it boom? I'd love to hear your opinion. So please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps to get these videos out to more people. Really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you later.
We'll be right back.